Hi, welcome to another segment of Madeline Cooks. This afternoon I'm going to make an extension to the meal that I introduced earlier with the stuffed artichokes. I'm now going to do a side dish of cauliflower, which we're going to bread and bake in the oven, and I'm going to prepare chicken with tomatoes and mushrooms. So let's start first with the cauliflower. I have a trick. I like to put my eggs, which I've scrambled, into a plastic bag. And then I will just dump the cauliflower. You could do the same thing with broccoli if you want. Just take your cauliflower and put it right into the bag with the scrambled eggs. There are 2 eggs that have been beaten and put into this bag. This saves a lot of cleanup and it's just so much quicker. I seal the plastic bag, Ziploc bag, like this, and just take it and shake it. And as you look, you'll see that all the cauliflower is being coated with the egg. So that's done. Now, we're going to take about a cup of breadcrumb and do the same thing. We're going to put it into a plastic bag. And I'm going to take the cauliflower from this bag and transfer it to the bag with the breadcrumb. Very simple. Just going to put the top of the bag inside that one, turn it upside down, and grab it. There it is. Now, we'll zip it again and mix it up with the breadcrumb. It will become coated with the breadcrumb. Just takes a few shakes. In the meantime, I have a baking pan here, which I've just coated with some olive oil on the bottom. Now I'm going to take these artichokes and I'm going to spread them out in the baking pan. Not artichokes, excuse me, cauliflower. And this will bake up into a nice golden brown. I have the oven set for 350, and I would say in about 15 minutes or so they'll get nice and golden brown. Don't worry about any extra breadcrumb, that's perfectly fine. And I'm going to put it in the oven. And while that's baking in the oven, we're going to take a nice sharp knife, take some Campari tomatoes. They've been washed, and I'm going to quarter them. Just cut them in half and then in half again, so we have 4 quarters from each tomato. Now, I use Campari tomatoes because they are the most flavorful tomatoes for cooking. And when you use them, they create their own natural sauce. We're not talking about a thick tomato sauce. This is going to be a nice sauce with the mushrooms, the olive oil, seasonings. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to take my thyme, put in about just a pinch, a nice pinch of thyme, a little shake of salt, a little pepper, some fresh basil, just a nice vigorous shake, little onion powder. Prefer the onion powder because it doesn't have that sodium content of onion salt. I'm going to take a generous handful of dried parsley. Put it over the top. And I always like a little oregano because it gives it that little zip. Now, we're going to put this in with the mushrooms. Toss them together. And these are going to saute in the pan with the chicken cutlets once the chicken cutlets are ready. Alright, now I have some nice thin chicken cutlets, which I'm going to dredge in just a little flour. Not a lot, just a little. Pass it on to another dish. You just want to dredge it because we don't want to bread this. I have something else that I've prepared that I'm probably going to serve along with this tonight, and I don't want everything to have breading on it. So we're going to just do this in a little flour. This helps it become nice and crisp when you cook it in the olive oil. Just quickly toss it around. Shake any excess off. Okay, now we have our chicken cutlets ready, and we have the tomato and the mushroom ready. In this pan, we have some olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Okay, we're going to put on a low flame, and as soon as that olive oil starts to bubble, we will insert our chicken cutlets. Eventually we will put the vegetables, but not yet. An old trick my mother taught me is just put a little bit of water on your fingertips, and when you go like that, if it sizzles, you know it's ready. I didn't hear any sizzling, so I know we have to keep it on a little bit longer. I'm going to raise that flame a minute until it gets really hot. And I think we see some movement in the pan. So now I'm going to submerge or place my chicken cutlets into the hot oil, and we want it to get golden brown. Now when we don't have enough room to put everything in, we wait until they brown, and then we'll take one of them out and make room. So I will put one of these screens over the top. This keeps it from splashing all over your stove. And we're going to let that saute for a while, and we'll wait again. Cooking takes a little time, and I don't want you to just sit there waiting for me. So I'll be back as soon as this starts to brown. Well, I hear the sizzling, so I think we're in good shape for turning. There we go. Sometimes I will turn it more than once because I really want to get that nice crusty edge on it. But for the moment, we're turning it over because it's golden. We want to get the other side to cook as well. And as it's cooking, as you see, the chicken will shrink. So I may be able to push in one more piece. Let's see if I can. I'll move this little one. Get this in here. See, it just takes a little adjustment. There we go. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces in here. And again, you'll put the top on it and let it saute. If we're in a hurry and we want to start the vegetables, I could take out another pan. I'll take some olive oil, put it into the bottom of this pan. And get that ready. Now that will heat up. While the oil is nice and hot for the vegetables, so I'm going to put the mushrooms and the tomatoes in there. If you also happen to have artichoke hearts, that goes great in this meal. I'm going to put another one of these screens over the top so we can sweat these vegetables up a little bit. Now, as these sweat, they produce a wonderful gravy of the little mushroom. Once you have mushroom and olive oil together, and you get them to cook with the tomatoes, they make a wonderful light sauce of their own. And then we're going to mix that with the chicken. Let's check on this. Ah, that's the color I want. There we go. Nice and crisp. See? Just because we dredged it in a little bit of flour makes the chicken take that nice golden color. Can you see this? Now, this, as you see, will take such a short time to prepare. Maybe 10 minutes to get the chicken to cook the way you want. The vegetables will cook quickly, and then we'll mix the vegetables with the chicken together. It's delicious. It's going to be done with the artichokes, and if we want, maybe, I think we'll do some baked potatoes with this. You want to look for something that's not quite as fattening. I popped in a few potatoes before into the microwave. First I scrub them, and then I slip them down the center with a knife. So I'll put them in here, and I'm going to turn that on. There are 3 of them, so we'll give it about 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes time, let's see how this is going. You see now the sauce? Look, there was no sauce before, but now there is. See that wonderful sauce? That's from the olive oil. Now, I'm going to throw in to that a little bit of soy sauce. You can use any brand you like. I'm using La Choy soy sauce because it happens to have a lower level of sodium in it. About 200 milligrams less than another brand that I prefer. And we'll just add a little bit of that chicken as well. Just shake it on lightly. I'm going to lower this flame so we get a nice tender piece of chicken. I'm going to remove these chicken cutlets to a serving pan. And then I'm going to cover them with the vegetables, which I'm sure are ready by now. Look at that sauce. Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision because this smells so wonderful. Pour this right over the top of this. And doesn't that look delicious? And it takes minutes, mere minutes to prepare a wonderful meal like this. You could serve it with pasta if you wanted. You could serve it with rice. Whatever you want. I'm going to put a few things out on the table and serving dishes in a moment. I'm going to put this on a trivet so oh, that looks so good. So I can transfer it. Let's get the right tools. This is the tricky part, getting them out of the pot because they are big. Now I've got a spoon and a fork. Look at the size of that. Is that beautiful? Oh, delicious. And I have a third one that has to cook more. But I'm going to serve these 2 because they're so big that half of one artichoke would be more than enough for a person. But I've got one of the wings to warm up. Now I'm going to pour this over the top. This is so delicious when you dip Italian bread in this. You can't imagine. So that's 2. Let's check on the cauliflower. Oh, I think. Looking good. I think so. Put that in a dish. Before you know it, the potatoes will be ready. And the table will be set. You know, they say that 2/3 of your meal should be vegetable, and only 1 part of the meal, 1/3 would be protein. So we have cauliflower, which is excellent and filled with vitamins, and there isn't that much egg or breadcrumb on it really, because remember, we only use 2 eggs, and that's shared amongst all this, and it's a cup of breadcrumb, and believe me, oh, this looks delicious. I have to just nibble on one little piece. You don't mind, do you? Delicious. So come in, enjoy yourself, try this. Cauliflower, an egg and breadcrumb, in a pan with olive oil, bake it in the oven, 350, about 20 minutes, delicious. Mushrooms cut Campari tomatoes over chicken that you have dredged in flour and seasoned. Cook them either all in the same pan or 2 separate pans, and then combine them together. Fabulous. And stuffed artichokes. Believe me, your guest will rave about this meal because it is delicious. And the potatoes will be out any moment. So please, bon appetit. Remember me, Madeline Cooks, and come and see me again. I'm going to try to get more videos on YouTube for you. I do hope you enjoy them. And try to follow these recipes. Bye for now.